Okay, did the second arm and hand and all that stuff. So now all we have to do is the final detailing. We probably could have put the scales on like last, but I guess it's kind of okay that they're there. So before I forget, which I almost did forget, I gotta put the tail on, which we're gonna resculpt. And it was smart of us not to put the tail on when we did, because it definitely would have gotten smudged. We would have had to take it off and stuff. So that's good. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger this time because Espio just have a pretty big tail. It's actually, it's like, I think it's like, it's longer more than it does like curve. I mean, it curves a little bit, maybe like that. Then it's like really long, so I try and do that a little bit better. So you need enough of this so it'll actually stay on. And you might, this is where toothpicks come in handy as well. I fell over before I can. Where you kind of put it on, and then use the toothpick to make it turn up and mold it onto his behind so that it actually stays and will not fall over. So that's his tail like that. Get him back into that position. And yeah, I'm trying to make sure that it's going to stay. You could put a toothpick in there, or you could not. I want to leave it like that. I think it looks fine the way it is. Finally, we're going to put on his chest type thing, whatever it is. Looks like a heart, so that's what I'll call it. Put on his heart skin thing that goes on to his chest. Sort of sculpting this out of the camera, jeez. Again, along like that, and then I'll actually do this. I can sculpt it without cutting it in half, but you can cut it in half, and then flatten it out, even it out. Make it even. Then make sure it's the right size, the right scale. I don't know, it was kind of bulging a little too much for my liking. I can usually live with some bulge in the clay, but sometimes I just can't. So sculpting in silence. But no. So we got this going on right there. There we go. Kind of just apply it, push it down, push it on. Might want to use a toothpick and kind of just to make sure that you don't got too much of a crease down the middle from when you cut it. Now is the last part, the most important part, and that's applying the head so that nothing disastrous happens. I'm going to put it right where the circle and the triangle part that we put on earlier pretty much connect, and I'm going to put it in the front so that he doesn't fall back, because you don't want him to fall back or forward, but I think if we put it in the front it would level everything out. And you're going to kind of make him say, "No, I do not want to be a forgotten Sonic character like Bean and Bark and all them," so. And then put that right on, and then it's on like that, and then you say, "Wow, I just finished an Espio whose scale just came off." Just make sure those are on. Stupid little things. Again, using a toothpick. Just try and... You might want to do that to all of them. Just in one spot, so that you can ensure they'll stay on. Then you take all the little stuff off, put them in a really nice pose, make sure all the arms and limbs and everything are on just how you want them to, and you stand them up, and there we go. We're not done yet. We have to put this in the oven and see how that works. I know with Shadow last time I said I was going to stand him up, and he actually, and I think I laid him down because he started to fall over something. Espio, I would like to lay him down, but here's the thing. The head is, I think, balanced enough over so that he's not going to fall back or anything. We use the toothpicks in his legs, so that gives him support, and his feet are definitely big enough. And he's kind of leaning over, if you can see from the side. He's kind of leaning over enough. Well, I moved him, but when he's like that, see, he's leaning over enough so that I think we can stand him up. If you want to be really safe about it, you can lay him down. The only problem is the tail's going to get in the way, so you have to lay him on his side or something. I think I'm going to try and stand him up. You could try to stand him up against the side of a pan if you wanted to, but nonetheless, I'm going to try to stand him up. I'll tell you how it goes, and we'll talk about it once I get him out of the oven. Alright, so I think it's time I introduce another one of my underrated clay friends, that being super glue. So here's what happened. As I put him in the oven and stuff, and you should do this for any clay model, but I needed to make sure that I had the legs at even length with the body. I tried to push the feet down and everything, so I wanted to make sure everything was good, and I talked about his head being far enough over where I thought it would all be good. Well, I just still didn't really think it was going to stand up, and it's always better to be safe than sorry. And we had a toothpick in his head, so that was good. So I decided to take the head out and cook them separately, so that's good. And now what we can do is put the toothpick in, and then we'll have a model. You could just leave it like that. It doesn't look too bad like that, but then the head comes out. So I typically use this method for when I'm sculpting out of white clay, and then would paint the model after, because it's a lot easier to paint the individual pieces and then glue them all together instead of trying to like paint a completed model all in one piece. But anyway, so you can use this glue for this clay too, obviously, but I just often don't. But we can. So just a little bit on the toothpick. Then you got to be careful, because this stuff will like get your fingers glued together and stuff. So push it down, get it all the way in. Hold it. You really don't have to hold it down unless you're trying to like legit fix something. Then hold down for I think 30 seconds is advised. I do it for like no more than 10 really. And then it does take some time to dry, but if it's something like this where it's like internal, then it's kind of pointless. So with that said, I think guys, we have a completed Espio clay model. This was pretty easy to make, I will say. It definitely does look really good for being the first modern Espio I've sculpted in a while, so really good episode. Thank you for that request. We got all the detailing right. We got 3 spikes, or scales. We got the tail on there. Both hands look good. I got all the cuffs, and the face I think really just brings it all together. So, and I think this is probably the biggest tutorial model I've made. The Mario that I made in episode 1 is like that big, so I really upped the scale on this one, but it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. Glad we could do an episode like this. So thanks for watching, guys. I encourage you to sculpt your own. That's why I make these, not only so you can see them, but so you can sculpt your own as well. As always, you can give me some feedback. Let me know what I did good, what you'd maybe like to see a little bit more of for future episodes. There will be more episodes of this coming. I'm glad that I actually got to put this on, not like a whole entire year after I filmed it like I did the Shadow one. But so more episodes definitely coming soon. And as always, like I've kind of been notioning, give me some requests. I'll take any requests from Sonic Mario characters that you guys want to see. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and until the next clay tutorial, I'm LSuperSonicQ, and